Central Florida is an aerospace hub with 5 international and multiple regional airports, spaceports, flight academies, and a heavy infrastructure supporting logistics. Central Florida presents a unique and important opportunity to grow the next generation of aerospace professionals. But where will that workforce come from? How do we empower today's students to understand and seek education to support their future and the future of this region? We believe that answer lies within the 11 counties of Central Florida. More than 1.5 million students are within this region, with Polk County in the center. Polk is the 7th largest school district in Florida, with more than 114,000 students. Like many Central Florida counties, students face a specific and important challenge. A high percentage of students live below the poverty line, and many are considered English language learners. Helping to face that challenge head on, we recognize that aerospace education can provide an important uplift to students, communities, and businesses that need to plan for their future workforce. Florida is home to more than 400 aerospace companies, and many of them call Central Florida home. We need to focus on STEM in education to engage students maybe more than ever before, and not just high school-aged youth, but as early as preschool. A love for aviation, space, and engineering can begin early and provide direction for a young person's life. STEM education in aerospace will accelerate a student's career trajectory, preparing them for a career in a workforce ripe with opportunity. That workplace is in their own backyard. Central Florida is a desirable place to live. The Lakeland metro area is among the fastest growing areas in America. The Aerospace Center for Excellence is poised to engage today's students for tomorrow's aerospace careers. We stand shoulder to shoulder with our schools, colleges, and universities with support, tools, and programs to fulfill our mission to engage, educate, and accelerate the next generation of aerospace professionals. Imagine what we could do with your help.
Welcome back to our second segment. Actually, it's numbered 1B here at the Gizmo Productions USA in beautiful downtown Oviedo. Actually, it's the Oviedo Mall. And we are here with the Sun and Fun, the leader, President, CEO, Sun and Fun, and it's more than just Sun and Fun. It's the Aerospace Center of Excellence, and we are all kind of blended in with the Central Florida Aviation Academy, Aerospace Academy, and our FCAA is what we always call it. Acronyms, got to be in acronyms in aviation. But the thing that we want to expand on is the FAA presence here, not only in the industry, but here at these productions. The FAST team, one of our reps, and actually I'm a FAST team rep, I'm not a lead rep, but to get your credits, your 4-digit code, they'll be presented at the end of this show. And that's good for your credits, for your wings, AMT credits, and for our viewing partners in Houston. This is for you guys in Houston. Stay active, and we're going to bring the NOTAM up at the end of, actually we're not going to bring it up on the show, it's going to be on our website, and of course it's on the Sun and Fun website, but that note is very important. All of the land references, the towers are there, the visual cues are there. That's going to be very, very important when you fly into this organization. And sometimes people that said, oh, I'd never fly into Sun and Fun, too busy. You follow the flow, you follow the procedures, and there won't be a problem. Where we start coming into problems, folks that just don't follow the procedures, and that just gums up the whole works, and that is not safe. So if you know you're flying into an event that's going to be very, a lot of high traffic, heavy traffic, use the NOTAM. Know it inside and out. And don't be afraid of it. Call somebody that you do know that's flown in, and they'll give you some assurances on how important following that NOTAM is to getting in and out of Sun and Fun safely. We're going to go into some of the background with, as a matter of fact, this gentleman I have sitting here to my left is Gene. I'm going to shake hand again, Gene. And we're going to apologize about the gray hair comment, but that's actually, it's seasoning. And you're becoming more and more, and when you reach your next phase of seasoning is when it starts to fall out.
Oh, it's already doing that, by the way, so don't worry.
Well, good.
It's well on its way, so thank you.
Good. I can't wait. I can't wait, Gene. But anyway, Gene, we talked a little bit about Sun and Fun and the layout in the first segment of this show. Let's talk about the island. I keep hearing about the island. And what is the island concept all about?
Yeah, so the island is something we came up with last year for our 49th, and so this area is specific for our flying guests. And so in this area, it sits right in the center of all the aircraft parking areas. So to the east of this area, you have general aviation camping and general aviation parking, and Chopper Town's way on the east end. And on the west side, you have seaplanes, seabirds, which we call them at Sun and Fun, our seabirds. Then you have vintage, you have home built right to the north of the island as well, and then just to the northwest of the island is the warbird area along with the warbird ramp. So, but it's in the heart of everything for our aircraft visitors and flying guests. And there we have 160 or 120 by 60 foot tent for our food and beverage. So breakfast, lunch, and dinner with the local restaurant called Fresco's that is there. We have our pilot welcome center there. So when you fly in and you need to, register, you have questions, you're going to visit other areas while you're here in Central Florida, you can do all that at the pilot welcome center. And also we have the island store, which was very popular. Quick story, when we were producing this last year, myself and a bunch of other folks, we went to Sam's Club and bought stuff for the island store. So toiletries, sleeping bags, chairs, folding chairs, all of that. The first round that we went, we got about 4 or 5 sleeping bags. We probably replenished them 5 times. Because of how many people, for whatever reason, didn't bring the sleeping bags or forgot. But it was a great addition, to have the island store. So if you're flying in, all your amenities. If you don't want to use Fresco's and you want to do your own thing next to you, under the wing of your aircraft, for breakfast in the morning, we'll have eggs and bacon and bread there as well. To make sure our campers have a good time. But shower house is there, also Uber Lyft drop-off. So even if you fly in early, right, so the airfield opens, you can start camping on the airfield April 6th at noon. So that's very important. So if you want to come early, get off the airfield, go explore, you can rent a car, grab an Uber, and go explore Central Florida before the event starts on April 9th. So everything that you're going to need during your visit as far as a fly-in guest is right there at the island for you.
Excellent. And Gene, we can either do this one of 2 ways. Either we can give everyone your cell phone number, or we can,
Let's not do that.
or we can send them to the website.
We can do that.
And I tell you, the website looks very nice. It is easy to navigate around on. And I don't know who your staff is that takes care of that, but they work hard.
Well, I have a great team, Melissa Goodson and Kathy. She just changed her last name, so I'm going to say Gilbert. If she's watching, she's probably going to get upset with me. She just got married, but I have a great team, folks who take care of that. But that's a new website as of last year, so we produced this website before our 49th. Again, want to get a lot of stuff done before our 50th this year, but all the information that you are going to need for our event, daily schedules, forums, workshops, especially for our forums and workshops. We have the daily schedule, so you can go in there and you can populate based on what you want your itinerary to be based on the programming that's available with the forums in the Central Florida Aerospace Academy, the workshops, and the other venues where we're going to have activities and speakers and things going on. So also, we had it last year, the Sun and Fun app.
Yep.
You can download it now, actually. Yeah. We're still tweaking it, so when you look at the map, we'll populate it with the new map, which is all brand new map this year, so we wanted to unclutter it a little bit because there's a lot of stuff. It's a very active map, new tram maps and all of that, so you can download the app on the App Store. I'm not really the techie person, but I know you can go to the App Store. It's Sun and Fun Aerospace Expo 2024. You can download the app, but you can go to flysnf.org, our website, and all of our information is there. And I also do, to your point about giving people my cell phone number. I track social media, so if you do have questions and you follow us on Facebook or Instagram, I answer a lot of the questions, and because I like to stay up to date, and if people have questions, we want to get them answered as quickly as possible, because we want to make sure as they're planning to be with us in 31 days, if not earlier, they get all those questions answered so they can have a good time when they get here.
And Gene, that is the purpose of social media. I look at it, and
Yep.
it's just for social interaction, social information, and communication.
Communication is the biggest thing for us.
Oh,
Absolutely.
yeah, big time.
Yep.
Big time. The warbirds. There was the Warbird Society communications, and they come and they go. Some years are heavy, some years are light. I foresee kind of a heavy year coming this year.
Yeah, it's going to be a heavy year. Unfortunately, we were planning on Fifi with the Commemorative Air Force and Diamond Lil to be with us, but they're in winter maintenance right now, talking about safety. They've been pulling engines and various things, and unfortunately, they've found additional work that need to be done on these beautiful airplanes that we need to take care of. It's important for them to keep flying and be safe, because obviously they tell the story. And those assets are very, very important. Obviously, there's only two B-29s, Doc and Fifi. I don't even know. I think there's Diamond Lil, and I don't know how many B-24s are still flying, but not many, obviously. But unfortunately, they won't be here with us today or this year. But the Commemorative Air Force is still bringing a lot of assets to us. There will be ride hops with their smaller aircraft. They're twin beaches. There's two of them coming, including Bucket of Bolts will be here with us. The gunfighter, the SBD Dauntless, will be doing ride hops, T-34, T-6. So they'll be here in a big way. Plus Tora is coming. So there are 9 airplanes that do the Pearl Harbor reenactment. So that's always a huge hit.
Makes a big boom.
Lots of boom. And the Tora Bomb Squad, so they'll be here, and that'll be a great show for us. But also, obviously, the Connie, having the Connie. I will also say, I'm probably not supposed to tell anybody this, but our plans right now is for the NASA Super Guppy is planning to attend with us this year as well.
You heard it first.
You heard it first. I probably wasn't supposed to
first.
share that. Now, granted, if it gets called out on a mission, there's only one of these aircraft in the world. So if it gets pulled off on a mission, but the plan is for that aircraft, for my Houston friends that are watching, the plan is for that aircraft to be here with us during the week as well.
Good. And Gene, I was just thinking, I have these great thoughts every now and then. Have you ever thought about having fireworks?
Yes.
That's fun.
Yes. So we have great night shows.
Oh, just because I brought it up?
Yeah, no. Yeah. So we have great night shows. So Wednesday and Saturday night are our night shows. We are happy this year because obviously the Thunderbirds are headlining the show, with the jet team, but we also have the Ghost Squadron this year. So if anybody knows about Jared Eisenman, Draken, Polaris Dawn, he's done I don't know how many, I think 1 or 2 SpaceX missions at this point. But he has a fleet of aircraft. So the MiG-29, the 3 Alpha jets, and the L-39, they're actually just arrived to Lakeland this last week. They'll be practicing over the top of the airport throughout the month of March, because they will be doing their first aerobatic performance with those 8 airplanes at Sun and Fun this year. So you've probably seen them at AirVenture if you've been there over the last couple of years, flying, just doing the pattern and going around in formation, but they're going to be fully aerobatic this year. Again, practicing over Lakeland leading up to the event. But the reason I bring it up towards the night shows and the fireworks is they will fly, I believe on Wednesday and Saturday, they will fly to start the night show. So it'll be fun.
Starting rather than ending.
Yes,
Good,
yes.
good.
So not flying during the day, but flying, to start at 7 p.m. for the night shows, but for our fireworks. So this year, and I tease my municipal partners and friends. I sometimes attend meetings with them, and when you go to your local community and you have your July 4th fireworks downtown, they're fun, right? And everybody's like, they're the best ever. Well, yes, they're good at the time, but what we put on and the production you will see this year, bar none, will be the best performance you've ever seen. So it's fireworks, ground pyrotechnics, airplanes that you saw last year flying amongst those elements, and there's 2 more elements that I can't talk about that will be added. Actually, 3 more elements this year as well. So you will not want to miss our night shows. And typically we haven't done fireworks on Wednesday night, but we're doing it this year as well. So a lot of people, it's a 6-day event, or you're there for over a week. We want to make sure the people that come early are also get to participate and enjoy Wednesday night, and then also Saturday night. So it's going to be a lot. It's going to be fun.
Well, and
And we have to pre-burn for all of this on the ground, right? Because
Oh, yeah.
we're going to be, there's a lot being blown up.
You're not a pyromaniac by
No, it just excites me though because it's really cool, and it's all choreographed to music as well. So,
Yeah.
but there will be 2 aircraft flying in amongst the fireworks and all that, and maybe someone else jumping in the middle of it. Who knows?
Who knows? Things could happen. Stranger things have
Yes.
happened. But
Yep.
you know, competition is good.
Yes.
Because I thought the best fireworks show I'd seen in a long time was at Oshkosh, or I'm sorry, AirVenture,
Yep.
this past year, and it was pretty impressive.
Yeah, well, they're impressive. They're good. They're good. But
They're good.
also, you know, the gentleman who helped put on all of those great performances at AirVenture for over a decade now works for Sun and Fun. So,
Oh,
you know,
Dennis
so
doesn't have anything to do with it.
yes,
does
he
he
does.
Dennis-
Actually, he had me in his office last week and was showing me, because again, this is all programmed. It's all choreographed to music, and right. So he showed me on the computer and whatever software that they use, and showed me, you know, with the music and what is being launched at what time and the elements and how. It's amazing how this all gets put together.
A lot of planning goes into
A lot of
that.
planning, a lot of dedicated, passionate people.
Yeah.
Because we wanna have a good time. We will.
Oh, that's Dennis Dunbar's cell phone number you're going to give out.
No,
That's
I'm not
it?
going to do that either.
Okay.
He may quit on me if I
Oh,
do
no.
that.
No, he definitely quit.
No, but he does a great job, and you know, he brings he's been over the last several years. He's no longer, but he's been he was the chairman of the International Council of Air Shows. Obviously, when we talk about safety and the importance of all of that, you know, having Dennis on board with us, he is the ultimate professional. He is probably the best in the industry at what he does, and he leads all of our activities on airside with our volunteers. You know, whether it's the parking elements where everything is going, but also choreographing the daily air show, working with the FAA year round. For the flying aspects on the NOTAM, everything that we're doing that deals with aircraft, Dennis is involved, and he is the ultimate professional and does a phenomenal job for us, and we're just fortunate to have him on our team.
Good, and I agree with you. And we don't want to slight safety is so, as you use the term, woven into your operation. You really can't talk about just safety in one aspect.
No.
Safety is all the way through the entire operation, and that, we all appreciate that.
Yep.
You appreciate it when you come and you leave in one piece.
Yep.
And that's the whole point.
And it's hard, and you know, there's a lot of pressure on our volunteers with everything that's, you know, years ago I was up in the air traffic control tower and I was talking to one of my if I wasn't doing what I was doing today, I'd be an air traffic controller because I love the airspace and how things move in the aircraft and how it's all controlled. But I was up there one year talking to one of my friends, and I was like, well, what do you think about this event? You know, whether it's this event or it's Oshkosh. And he's like, well, either one of them, pick one. But, you know, it's basically controlled chaos a little bit. But, you know, it's a ballet. They know what they're doing. And, you know, reference the NOTAM, you know, new NOTAM this year, new approach. And I know there'll be videos and whatnot after this. But that NOTAM is critically important to what we do. It is the Bible, you know, for your activities and your arrival and departure. From our event. It's very, very important. And, you know, again, study the NOTAM, know the NOTAM. It needs to be your best buddy. New approach this year. So, you know, we want to make sure everybody gets here safely. But I know our friends at FAA work year round on this event. And they're working their day jobs, you know, year round. You know, whatever towers or whatever, you know, airports they're working out of, they're working on this event and AirVenture as well year round to make sure they go off without a hitch and are safe as possible.
Well, it's going to be a lot of fun, but it's a lot of excitement, very much so, and all the different moving parts that go into it. You got to multitask, and if you're not a multitasker, you're really not going to be able to take all of it in. But you mentioned something a little earlier about women in aviation.
Yes.
Expand a little bit on that, Gene.
Yeah, so this year on April 10th, Wednesday, during the event, is Women Aces. So we are going to celebrate women in aviation. You know, the U.S. Air Force is our partner, also AOPA, you know, Women in Aviation, and a bunch of other I think Lift Academy, Republic Airways, Piedmont, a bunch of other partners. But we're going to celebrate women on the day, so we'll open up 7:30 a.m. with the breakfast in our pavilion. And then there'll be keynote speakers there and a whole day of programming for our women at our event. So we look forward to that. Obviously, diversity is very, very important in our industry. We need to get more people involved from all walks of life involved in aviation. And obviously, women are very, very important to what we do, and we're going to celebrate women on the 10th. So look for that. There'll be some more on our social media. Also encourage people on our newsletter. If you go to our website, sign up for our newsletter, because we have about 90,000 people on our newsletter list, and we're sending stuff out right now once a week, and it will be every day as we get closer to the event. But the Women ACES program is going to be quite special and a good time this year.
Well, Gene, I don't know if you realize this, but aviation typically in the past, us old timers, was kind of a predominantly male industry.
Yep.
No, not anymore. It is an industry of all, like you say, walks of life.
Well, it is, but we need the numbers. We need to boost the numbers dramatically, because it is still male dominated. As far as the percentages. But I'll tell you, like for example, the Central Florida Aerospace Academy, about 35% of the student body at our high school are females. So that's a good sign. And we need to make sure they feel welcome and can be a part of all of what is aviation, right? Because they're critically important, and and we need people. This industry needs people. We need people to be interested and help us carry this forward for the next 50 years.
Well, and the industry itself, I've noticed myself that ladies, the female, the ladies, women, whatever gender you want to talk about, it's not specific. And ladies bring something to the attention to detail that I really wasn't aware of until I saw a lot of these professionals, truly professionals out there, and they're serious about it. They're passionate. And it makes the guys, we got to get up the game a little bit to keep up with these gals.
Well, I will tell you, it's, when I get on an airliner, whatever airline it is I'm flying, and I see a female captain, I will tell you, I feel pretty good about what I'm doing and where I'm going with her, because I will tell you, it probably wasn't the easiest road for that person. And so I'm happy to get on an airplane and with a female captain, first officer. I don't care, because I know they work really, really hard, as everybody does. So whether you're male or female, it really doesn't matter. But I know they have to, they had to work especially hard to get where they are.
It's not gender specific. We talked a lot about Sun and Fun. We haven't talked much about something dear to my heart, mechanics, maintenance.
Yep.
And I do know that there is a real strong push there at CFAA and the Travis Vocational for the A&P. What do you know, I know it's a little bit out of your wheelhouse, but what do you know about the A&P movement?
No, well,
A&P, airframe and power plant mechanic.
Yes, it's in my wheelhouse. That's all part of it. It's all part of the puzzle. We need mechanics. As everybody knows, we need pilots, we need mechanics, we need air traffic controllers, we need marketing people, lawyers, engineers, whatever. Whatever field you want to be in aviation, we need folks. But mechanics, we need them. So through Travis Career College, we have our A&P program. At CFAA, we have our A&P program as well. So that basically they come through, they can be ready to test for their general as they come out of high school, and then go right across the street over to Travis Career College. About another 18-ish months to finish up and then go to the workforce if they want to. So there's no requirement to go to college anymore, right? I went to college. I will tell you, I've learned a lot more not being in college than I did in college. There's some great folks going through our A&P program with Travis Career College, and right now there's 50 people in that program. And we're looking to grow it as well, because selfishly in Polk County, aviation is exploding there, and we need a lot of qualified individuals, certificated individuals to work on aircraft, whether it's NOAA, it's Strachan, Amazon Air has a large facility there, the other general aviation airports in the county, there's lots of business there and lots of opportunity, but around the state and around the country and around the world, we need qualified aircraft technicians, to be out there and, maintain these aircraft, because people tend to break them. So they need to fix them.
They break them and they wear out.
Yes,
they wear
out.
Things wear.
Yep.
And here's this is for my FAA counterparts. It's only two things required for aircraft to be considered airworthy. Two things, just two things. One, it has to meet its type design. And two, it has to be in a condition for safe operation. There's your takeaway for the day. What does that mean? Type design, it meets its blueprint. It looks like it was supposed to look like coming from the manufacturer. And I don't say just the overall appearance of the aircraft. It looks, each component, each section of the aircraft meets its type design. Condition for safe operation, I mean it's not worn out or it's not broken. Things break, like you said.
Yep.
Perfectly good wheels come off of aircraft.
We just saw
Big
that the other day,
airplanes.
777,
Yeah.
United.
Big airplanes.
Yep.
So, and maintenance is really it's cool. It's fun. You can fix things that are broken, things that need to be replaced. And the big thing is getting ahead of the failure before it happens. And we've been flying for a while. We've got a lot of experience in this maintenance business. And we can pretty much tell you, particularly the vendors and the manufacturers, they can pretty well tell you when something, how many it's going to cycle out. 5,000 landings on a big airplane or a transport category aircraft. Okay, at about 5,000, would it go 6,000? Probably. 7? Yeah, but there's about 150% safety factor built into most all of the engineering of an aerospace article, a vehicle, a product, an airplane, a spacecraft, a drone. But, all right, I'll get off my soapbox now. I was on a roll there, but this is not a training session, but it is a safety session, and maintenance particularly. Professional Aviation Maintenance Technician or Association, PAMA, Professional Aircraft Maintenance Association, is very, very instrumental. If anybody is wanting to get more involved and interested in maintenance, I'm going to drive you to PAMA. John Golia does a great job, him and his staff. And there will be a John Golia Award that we're going to be doing. Awards. Gene, we had to talk about this. We need more nominees for some of these awards that people have come up with money. Organizations have come up with sponsorships. How can you help us in the industry? How can you help us in the industry come up with more nominees for somebody that's worthy, that's done something that is just a little bit a cut above? How do we get that word out? More nominees. We need get involved. It takes a little bit of time to put a name in a hat.
Yep. Yeah, it's always, think about others. And, I know just thinking about our volunteers, actually when I was driving over here today, thinking about the various awards that I want to give out, for our organization, because people need to be recognized that are going above and beyond. Whether it's on the safety side of what we do as an industry, folks that have flown for 50 years and, been safe the entire time and never had any incidents, or it's just down to, one of my volunteers that just put in that extra effort, and we need to recognize people. And, not that they necessarily want it. Maybe some want to be recognized, but not necessarily, those really diehards don't really want to be recognized, but it's important. Sometimes they get embarrassed when we give them an award, but it's important in front of a group that, that they be recognized and, that we're watching and we're paying attention. And so whether it's my folks or volunteers, but anybody out in the industry, we need to recognize people that are doing it the right way. That's what it's all about.
And get more people wanting to do it the right way.
That's correct.
And there's still a sliver of the folks that try to cut corners, and I can do this cheaper. I can do that. Don't be cheap. Be more practical. Sometimes saving money on one end is going to cost you money the other. Ooh, that was a commercial. Pay me now or pay me later.
Yep.
But you don't want to have that while you're flying. You don't want to have things break.
No, and even when you run an airport or you run an organization like Sun and Fun, you can always go the cheap route. There's always a cheap route, but there's also the right route, right? And sometimes the right route isn't the cheapest, obviously, and it's a little bit more painful, but it's the right route. You need to go down that path.
Well, in business, it's got to make good business sense.
Yep.
Because a lot of the things we do in aviation, it may cost you $250,000 to restore a $60,000 airplane. Well, that doesn't. But people ask me, that doesn't make good sense. Well, sure it does. If that's your passion, if you enjoy doing that,
Yep.
Rebuild it, and you may have 4 times what it's worth.
And rebuild it and bring it to Sun and Fun.
Sure, put it on display.
We'd love to have you.
And put some fingerprints and nose prints on it. People looking inside. I love to see nose prints on a windshield. I just don't like to see them so hard that it cracks the windshield.
Yes.
Because some of this stuff is delicate.
Yep.
And again, before you touch somebody's airplane, ask permission. If nobody's around to ask, don't touch their airplane. I mean, that's just it doesn't go without saying, and If common sense was common, everybody would have it.
Yep.
It's not rare sense, it's common. And Gene, as we're going to kind of wind this down, and I do want to drive folks again, I said it before, I'm going to say it again, the NOTAM. It's very, very important. Watch that NOTAM. Go to the website, and the website is flysnf.org.
That's correct.
flysnf.org. So you've heard it so many times, repetition is also a good form of teaching.
Yes.
So visual cues, the media aspect, the media is very, very active in this day and age. Some good, some bad, but we need to use that format to get into people's minds, and we need to drive them to the second largest, at least general aviation event in the nation, if not the world.
Yep.
So all that you have brought to the area is remarkable, and it does come from a good business background, and the passion is there. They're really, really fortunate to have the professionalism that you have brought to the table. Not that Lights wasn't professional. It's just two different elements, and that's why if we were all the same, it'd be a really, really boring existence.
Yeah, but
we're not the same.
We're fortunate for all the folks that came, whether it's Billy Henderson, John Burton, John Leanouts, and now myself. We're just we're the figureheads, but it's everybody else that's getting it done. I've got a great team. Again, all the volunteers and just all the support that we receive from Florida Aviation Network, all of the various organizations and entities and sponsors and everybody that supports our event and loves it, right? Because Paul Poberezny always said, the airplanes bring us together, but the people keep us coming back, and that's what it's all about. Aviation's about people, friendship, camaraderie, and that's why we're all in it. We're all kind of like-minded a little bit, right? So we like to hang out together and just have a good time, and that's what, whether it's AirVenture or Sun and Fun, that's what it's all about. So I want everybody to come and have a good time, and if there's a challenge, let me know. We'll try to address it, but hopefully I'm sure we've put our best foot forward for this year, because we need to celebrate for not only just for the event and have a great show, but for all those people that came before us that are no longer with us, and celebrate them and do the best we can to make them proud of what we're trying to accomplish as we move forward.
I'm going to encourage everyone to come this is April 9th
through the 14th.
Through the 14th.
Yep.
And bring a friend, bring two friends. But come join us at Sun and Fun. We're going to have a good time.
Yes,
and Gene, thank you so much for joining us.
Appreciate all the time.
And you need to go off to another event.
Yes, I got to go meet volunteers this afternoon, and we're touring around the site and lots to do.
As we get our folks ready to write down that 4-digit code to get your wings AMT credit from the FAA FAST Team program. And we're going to give that to you here at the end of the show. Write it down, and please get into the system. Don't complain about anybody if you're not in the system and why you didn't get your wings credit. So you guys take it easy. And for all the folks that are watching this, we're so proud to have you. I'm Ben Coleman, one of your hosts. Diego Alfonso will be also helping us at Sun and Fun. Ron Timmermans, we got Joel Hargis. There's a lot of folks going on in the background here, just like at Sun and Fun, but it's not to that degree. Take it easy. I'm Ben Coleman. We'll see you next show.
I'm Amanda Holly.
And I'm Gene Conrad.
Join us for Countdown to Sun and Fun.
It's our 50th fly-in this year, and you don't want to miss it.
Countdown to Sun and Fun will be live on YouTube and Facebook.